Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. So in this video we will present about tips and tricks to do listening TOEFL ITP. Let's move. So let me introduce our team. My name is Putri Widiarsih and my friends is Meina Nurfika Sari. We are from English Department Universitas Tidar. So we will talk about the general strategies in short dialogue. So one is be familiar with the direction. 2. Listen to the passage carefully. 3. Know where the easier and the more difficult questions are generally found. 4. Focus to the audio. 5. Use the pacing of the test to look at question. 6. Never give an empty answer. And 7. Use any remaining time to look ahead at the answer to the question that follow. So, we will move to the listening part A question. So, the first is short dialogue. Short dialogue consists of 2 native speakers followed by question and consists of 30 questions. And this is an overview of listening skill. And then what is strategies for the listening part A question? So number 1 is as you listen to each short conversation, focus on the second line of the conversation, and then keep in mind that the correct answer is probably a restatement of a keyword or idea in the second line of the conversation. And 3. Keep in mind that certain structures and expressions are tested regularly in listening part A. And then keep in mind that these questions generally progress from easy to difficult, and then read the answer and choose the best answer to each question. And then even if you do not understand the complete conversation, you can find the correct answer. And this is the example and the correct answer. Okay, let's move to the skill 1. Focus on the second line. In listening part A, you will hear a short conversation involving 2 people. This conversation is followed by a question. It is important to understand that the answer of this type of question is most often, but not always, found in second line of the conversation. So, this is the example of the test. And the correct answer. And then the strategy is the second line of the conversation probably contains the answer to the question. Number 2, listen to the first line of the conversation. If you understand it, that's good. And number 3, be ready to focus on the second line of the conversation because it probably contains the answer. Okay, we move to skill 2. Choose answers and synonyms. Often, the correct answer in listening part A is an answer that contains synonym, words with similar meanings but different sound, for keywords in the conversation. So this is the example and the correct answer. Okay, we move to the strategy. So 1 is as you listen to the second line of the conversation, focus on the keywords that in that line. And number 2, if you see any synonyms, keywords in particular answer, then you have probably found the correct answer. And we move to skill 3, avoid similar sounds. Often, the incorrect answer in listening part A are answers that contain words with similar sounds but very different meanings from what you hear on the tape. You should definitely avoid this answer. So this is the example. And the correct answer is B. Okay, we move 2. Strategy: avoid similar sounds. So the strategy is identify keywords in the second line of the conversation and then identify words in the answer that contain similar sounds and do not choose this answer. And we move to skill 4. Draw conclusion about who, what, and where. It is common to listening part A to ask you to draw some kind of conclusion. In this type of question, the answer is not clearly stated. Instead, you must draw a conclusion based on clues given in the conversation. One kind of clues given in the conversation, one kind of conclusion that is common in this part of the test is to ask you to determine who the speaker is based on the clues given in the conversation. So this is the example and the correct answer. And then this is the example, another example, and this is another example and the correct answer. So we move to to the conclusion about who, what, and where. It is common for you to be asked to draw one of the following conclusions in the listening part A. 1. Who is probably talking? 2. What will she or he probably do next, and where does the conversation probably take place? And then we move to skill 5. It is sometimes difficult to understand who or what is doing the action in a passive sentence. This problem is often tested in listening part A. So this is the example and the correct answer. And the passive statement is if the conversation contains a passive statement, the answer to the question is often an active statement. If the conversation contains an active statement, the answer to the question is often a passive statement. Okay, check carefully who or what is doing to the action in this question. And then we move to skill 6. So listen for who and what with multiple nouns. When there is more than one noun in a sentence in listening part A, it is common for the answer to confuse which noun does what. So this is the example and the correct answer. And then who or what with the multiple noun. When there are multiple nouns in the sentence, it is common for the answer to confuse which noun does what. So we move to skill 7. Listen for negative expression. Negative expression are very common in listening part A, and the most common kind of the correct response to a negative statement is a positive statement containing a word with an opposite meaning. So this is the example and the correct answer. And then who and what with multiple noun. When there are multiple noun in a sentence, it is common for the answer to confuse which noun does what.
The following chart outline the types of negative expression that you should be careful of. This is types of negative expression. Skill 8. Listen for double negative expression. It is possible for two negative ideas to appear in one sentence and the result can be quite confusing. Example, on the recording you hear, "Man, I can't believe the news that I heard about the concert." The woman, "Well, it isn't impossible for the concert to take place." Narrator, what does the woman say about the concert? In your textbook, you read A. There's no possibility that the concert will take place. B. The concert will definitely not take place. C. The concert might take place. D. The concert can take place. The correct answer to this question is answer C. If it isn't impossible for the concert to take place, then it is possible and the model might indicate possibility. This is the following chart outline the situation where double negative can occur. Skill 9. Listen for almost negative expression. Certain expressions in English have almost negative meaning. These expressions are common on the TOEFL test and need to be reviewed. Example, on the recording you hear the woman, "Were you able to pay the electric bill?" The man, "I had barely enough money." Narrator, what does the man imply? In your textbook you read, A. He had plenty of money for the bill. B. He did not have enough money for the bill. C. He paid the bill but has no money left. D. He was unable to pay the bill. In the man's statement, the word enough indicates that there was enough, so he did pay the bill. However, it was barely enough, so he almost did not have enough and certainly has no money left. The correct answer is therefore answer C. This is type of negative expression in the common almost negative expression. Skill 10. Listen for negative with comparative. Negative can be used with comparative in listening part A of the TOEFL test. A sentence with a negative and a comparative has a superlative or very strong meaning. Example, on the recording you hear the woman, "What do you think of the new student in math class?" The man, "No one is more intelligent than she is." Narrator, what does the man say about the new student? In your textbook you read, A. She is not very smart. B. He is smarter than she is. C. Other students are smarter than she is. D. She is the smartest student in the class. The man responds to the woman's question with negative no and the comparative more intelligent, and this combination has a superlative meaning. The best answer is therefore answer D. This is types of negative expression. A sentence with a negative and a comparative has a superlative meaning, and this is comparative with negative. Skill 11. Expression of agreement are common in listening part A, so you should become familiar with them. The following example shows agreement with a positive statement. Example, on the recording you hear the man, "I think that the hypothesis is indefensible." The woman, "So do I." Narrator, what does the woman mean? In your textbook you read, A. She is unsure about the hypothesis. B. The hippopotamus is behind the fence. C. She thinks that the hypothesis can be defended. D. She agrees with the man. The expression "so do I" is an expression that shows agreement with a positive statement, so the woman means that she agrees with the man. The best answer is therefore answer D. Other expressions are used to show agreement with negative statement. Example, on the recording you hear the woman, "I don't think that our history teacher is very interesting." The man, "Neither do I." Narrator, what does the man mean? In your textbook you read, A. He disagrees with the woman. B. He thinks the history teacher is interesting. C. He shares the woman's opinion. D. He doesn't think the woman's idea is good. The expression "neither do I" is an expression that shows agreement with a negative statement, so the man agrees with the woman. The best answer is therefore answer C. This is types of negative expression about agreement. Skill 12. Listen for expression of uncertainty and suggestion. Expression of uncertainty and suggestion are common in listening part A, so you should become familiar with them. The following example shows an expression of uncertainty. Example, on the recording you hear the man, "Do you know anything about the final exam in physics?" The woman, it's going to be rather difficult, isn't it? Narrator, what does the woman mean? In your textbook you read, A. The exam is not going to be too difficult. B. She's positive that it's going to be hard. C. She thinks that it might be hard. D. She has no idea about the exam. The tag question, isn't it, change a definite statement into a statement that shows uncertainty. So the best answer is one that expresses uncertainty. The best answer to this question is answer C, because the word thinks and might express uncertainty. Other expressions that are common in listening part A are expressions of suggestion. Example, on the recording you hear, the man, I'll never have time to type a paper tomorrow. The woman, why not do it now? Narrator, what does the woman suggest? In your textbook you read, A. Finishing the paper today. B. Not working on the paper now. C. Never typing the paper. D. Taking the time out from the paper now. In this example, the expression why not is an expression of suggestion, so the woman suggests doing it now. In the suggestion, the woman is referring to the paper that the man needs to type, so the best answer is answer A. This is the following chart lists common expressions that show uncertainty and suggestion. Skill 13. Listen for emphatic expression of surprise. Emphatic expression of surprise are common in listening part A, so you should become familiar with them. When surprise is expressed, it implies that the speaker did not expect something to be true. Example, on the recording you hear, woman, did you see Paul driving around in his Mustang? Then he did get a new car. The man said. Narrator, what had the man thought? In your textbook you read, A. Paul would definitely get a Mustang. B. Paul did not know how to drive. C. Paul did not like Mustangs. T. Paul would not get a new car. In this conversation, the emphatic from the did get is used to show the man's surprise that Paul got a new car. It means that the man expected that Paul would not get a new car, so the best answer is answer D. This is the following chart outline various ways to express emphatic surprise. Skill 14. Listen for which. Conversation about which can appear in listening part A. The important idea to remember about which is that a which implies the opposite of the which is true. Example, on the recording you hear, woman, it's too bad that you have to stay here and work during the school break. The man, I really wish I could go with you and the others to Palm Springs. What does the man mean? In your textbook you read, maybe he will go with the others on the trip. B. He is unable to go on the trip. C. He is happy to be going on the trip. D. He is going on the trip but not with the others. In this conversation, the man wished that he could go with the others on the trip, so the implied meaning is that he is unable to go. The correct answer is therefore answer B. This is the following chart outline the key points that you should know about wish. Listening 15. Listen for untrue condition. Conversation about wish can appear in listening part A. The important idea to remember about wish is that a wish implies that the opposite of the wish is true. Example, on the recording you hear, the man, do you think that you'll be able to go to the party? The woman, if I had time, I would go. The narrator, what does the woman say about the party? In your textbook you read, A. Maybe she'll go. B. She has time so she will go. C. She is going even if she doesn't have time. D. It's impossible to go. In this question, the condition if I had time implies that the opposite is true. The woman does not have time for the party, so she cannot go. Therefore, the best answer to this question is answer D. This is the following spark outline the key point that you should know about untrue condition. Skill 16. Listen for 2 and 3 part verb. 2 and 3 part verb appear in some question in listening part A. These verbs are expressions that include a verb and one or more particles, such as in, on, or at. The particle changes the meaning of the verb. Questions involving 2 and 3 part verb can be difficult for students because the addition of the particle changes the meaning of the verb in an idiomatic way. The example: on the recording you hear the man. What time does the meeting start? The woman. Didn't you hear that it was called off by the director? Narrator. What does the woman say about the meeting? In your textbook you read A. The director called a meeting. B. The director phoned about the meeting. C. The director called the meeting to order. D. The director canceled the meeting. In this question, the 2 part verb called off has a different meaning than the verb call, which means phone. The 2 part verb call off means cancel, so the best answer is answer D. Skill 17. Listen for idioms. Idioms appear in some question in listening part A. Idioms are special expressions in a language that all speakers of the language know. These special expressions describe one situation in life but are applied to many different areas of life. Idiom questions can be difficult for students because they seem to be describing one situation when they are really describing a different situation. The example: on the recording you hear the man. Tom is a full-time student and is holding down a full-time job. The woman is really burning the candle at both ends. Narrator: what does the woman say about Tom? In your textbook you read A. He's lighting a candle. B. He's holding the candle at the top and the bottom. C. He's doing too much. D. He's working as a firefighter. In this question, the idiom burning the candle at both ends has nothing to do with candles and nothing to do with burning or fires, so answer A, B, and D are not correct. Instead, this idiom is an expression that is used in a situation when someone is trying to do more than he or she really can do. After all, a candle usually only burns at one end, so a candle that burns at 2 ends is doing more than it can. Therefore, the best answer to the question above is answer C. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.